So, firstly, I'm going to ask you, when did you join Seaford?
So I joined Seaford in year 10, which was 3 years
ago? 3 or 4 years? I'm not very... You're the mathematician.
Not. Year 10.
Year 10, that's it.
It was like 2021, something like that.
So tell me about joining Seaford, because I think Seaford then for you was probably a very different experience to Seaford now. Am I right?
Yes. So when I joined in year 10, I had a year out of school, being unwell, being in and out of hospital for a bit. And I came into school, I came in mute, I came in doing half days for a term.
Yes.
I came in barely, sometimes not walking properly. So I came in very timid. I physically couldn't speak for pretty much a term.
I'm going to ask you, Freya, where, you may not have thought about this before, where was your eye line when you used to walk around?
Oh yeah, I did
music
not
department.
look up. The floor was where my eyes were.
You have studied this music department floor better than anyone I know. I bet you know every crack and every crevice.
No.
And now look.
I'm doing musicals.
You're doing musicals and starring roles and all these things. So how did, when you had a year out, so how did Seaford, either then and, well, I'm going to say then and now, compare to your previous school? Not that I want to think about...
Okay, so...
Or school generally.
I have, as growing up, was very good at hiding things. So I went years with undiagnosed dyslexia. I also went a good 6 years of my life not realising I needed glasses.
Really? Yeah. That long?
I was...
Goodness.
And it was pretty bad, it turns out, because nowadays I look through my glasses like, oh, I'm meant to be able to see that.
So how did that happen? Was that just opticians had missed it, or were you clever at learning the eye test?
Well, I didn't have an eye test until I was the first one until year 1, year 2.
Because you didn't, no one realised you needed one?
No one thought. And so throughout schooling, I just kind of cursed, kind of under the radar of everyone, just went through, and then there came to a point where I couldn't do that anymore. I was too unwell, and so coming here, I've had to really accept a lot of support for things. So I had learning support for the first year, which helped boost my confidence in English. And so I think this school has just given me all the accommodations I need that I never realised I needed, and suddenly school wasn't as challenging. I was actually getting through a whole day without collapsing. At the end of it, I was actually able to, go home and actually have energy to read my book, which
you hadn't had before. No. So do you think it's all the extra support, all of the obviously allowing you to do half days to begin with, and allowing you to take the lessons that you go into, the lessons you could go into, and step away from those you couldn't, and go into supportive lessons and all of that made you able to increase your time and energy?
There's a lot of things. I think one part is that I've grown up. I'm learning how I work. I'm starting to figure myself out a bit more. And the freedom that the school trusts me. There's a level of respect and trust for me that people understand that I know myself, and there is no hesitation. If I say I need to leave this lesson, I'm not questioned. I'm allowed to leave because the teachers know I will catch up. And so that level of trust has been really helpful. I think the support has been so good, because even when things have gone wrong, things haven't gone right, because everything goes wrong sometimes, the way people we've adapted and learned, and I've never been thrown aside.
No.
Because I came in with complicated needs. I couldn't speak, sometimes couldn't walk. I couldn't do every lesson, so practicals were very challenging in science and things. And every step, teachers like yourself, Mrs. Vanden, and Mrs. Stitt have been really fighting for me. And I think also the environment. I found myself, a lot of the younger students seem a lot more comfortable. So I had an interaction where I was walking back from supper with Louisa, and I had my headphones on. It wasn't too good. And they were in prep school, Wilberforce. They were just walking up and talking to themselves and kind of asked me, why are you wearing headphones? And usually that question, especially if it comes from adults, you kind of go, oh no, I have to now explain my whole life, get judged because I'm slightly different. And I told them, I just have some sensory issues. And they went, oh, okay, and carried on. It was
Isn't that joyful?
Completely
They were
normal.
just genuinely asking you why you had headphones on. They weren't judging the reasons by which you needed to have headphones on.
Not at all. And that,
Do you find that a lot with Seaford students?
I think there's a wide range of everyone, but I do tend to find that people are kinder about different neurodivergency and access arrangements because it's more seen, it's more celebrated, I guess.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, it's seen as a good thing to be able to do what you can do and having all the different variation in human life.
Yeah, and that's a glorious thing, isn't it? So talk to me about your boarding experience at Seaford, because you're obviously still a boarder in Heaton Court, and you've previously been a boarder in Mansion.
Yes.
And how was that, going from half days and short days and the amount of time you needed to rest and at home, and suddenly entering the boarding world? How's that been different?
Yeah, so first I started flexi boarding just to sort of see how it was, and it was intimidating at first. I didn't know the girls very well. I was scared, but it was a useful resource because it gave me a place, if I needed to sit and be out of class, it gave me a place to sit and do work. And I found that the girls were actually very kind and could be boisterous and loud.
Teenagers.
Gets exciting sometimes, but overall very lovely. And as I went into weekly boarding, I made friends in the different year groups, which was lovely. And yeah, it just gave me a space where I could sort of have a timeout, I guess, and just be safe and make as much tea as I need, because
everyone needs tea through the day.
And the dogs also very helpful. There's always dogs in a boarding house.
Yeah,
and you can hug them, and they are great.
And they don't know what sort of day you're having, and they don't care. They just love you no matter what.
It's whether
you're having the best day ever or the worst day ever, a dog is a glorious thing.
Yeah.
And what about the transition from Mansion to Heaton Court? Because obviously you've gone from a boarding house full of different age groups, from year 9 to 12, and then you've moved into a smaller boarding house where there's only year 13s, and you're coming to the end of your time at Seaford. Yeah. How has that changed for you?
So I think in terms of, I guess it felt sort of similar in the sense that a lot of the girls that transferred were the same. I think they give you a lot more freedom in Heaton, which is handy and feels a bit like how I imagine uni halls being, with your own kitchen and that freedom. I think there was a sense of being less self-conscious just because you're around people your own age. So I don't feel as weird, going to the bathroom and going there and then having year 9 come out. That always feels a little bit weird. Okay. Like if you're going to have a shower or something, you're like, okay, this is uncomfortable.
Yeah, because you might not know them as well if they're year 9, even in a boarding house, but you probably know everyone a bit better in your year group.
Yeah, I mean, somehow it is louder in Mansion. I think everything's not in Mansion, in Heaton. In Heaton, everything's closer together.
Correct. The bedrooms are very close together. Mansion is more spread out, isn't it?
Mansion is more spread out.
Noisy. Some boarders are night owls and some are early birds, and we know that the night owls perhaps are a little more enthusiastic with volume. So talk to me about the subjects that you have a passion for. Obviously, sciences play a huge role in your academic prowess, and music.
Yes.
So talk to me about your sciences.
Okay, so I chose to do all 3 for A-level, along with music, because 3 isn't enough.
3 isn't enough, and 4 is madness, but you're doing 4.
Yeah,
4
I'm doing
A-levels.
4, 10 exams.
Yes.
Woo. No, science is a joy of mine.
Has it always been a joy? Have you always been interested in science, or did that grow when you came to Seaford?
So, this is actually interesting. When I was very little, like primary school, I was hell-bent on being a gymnast.
Were you? I never
was
knew that.
hell-bent on being a gymnast. I wanted to do that.
Gymnastics was your thing.
Hang
on, I can feel a sports scholarship coming on.
No,
Not anymore.
I used to be very good.
Yeah.
I then quit.
So gymnastics, what sort of gymnastics? Anything.
I loved vaulting personally.
Okay.
I liked flipping around and doing crazy things.
Can you still do that?
On a trampoline, I could do backflips and front flips and things.
You?
Can still do that. I could do a cartwheel.
Please be careful of your fingers.
Yes. But essentially, when I was 8 years old, I broke my arm.
Okay. Which arm?
This one.
Okay.
I had a green fracture on my... I've forgotten the name of the bone. It's this bone here.
Tibia, fibia? I don't know.
I can't remember, but I remember...
don't do science, can you tell?
I remember going into the ambulance and the nurses would come up to me and they sort of explained what was going to happen. I was having to have a surgery. And I was so fascinated. I suddenly realised that all my little things, they're living. They can grow, they can change, they can move. And I asked so many questions. I think I maybe slightly freaked them out because I did ask if I could see my cut into my bone. I asked if I could see it.
Oh gosh.
I asked if I could be awake during the surgery.
Wow. So that broken arm piqued your interest?
That broken arm made me go, oh, this is weird. I like it. So then I was sort of set down the path of wanting to be a doctor. I actually decided I wanted to be a physiotherapist because it was a very fancy word that 8-year-old me thought was cool.
A great word.
That I like, it sounds smart if I know this.
Okay. Good for you.
And then I got a bit older and I started becoming very fascinated by animals. And so I thought maybe I'll go into veterinary. And that was maybe when I was about 14.
Okay.
Then, just after GCSEs, I heard a song. And this song is, it depicts basically an octopus. And some of the lyrics are 3 hearts, 9 brains, and blue blood.
Right.
And I listened to that and went, that can't be real. Then I did research. And very much was real.
It's true.
And it's fascinated me. So I've now kind of...
Hang on, what's the song and who's it by?
I can't pronounce the name. They're by Asease, I think is how it's said. And it's... I can't remember the name of the song. If I can get my...
Where are they from? You go on. Where are they from?
I believe they're from America.
Ace, I don't even know. Ace, let me look at it because I can't hear it. I can't see the word in my head. No. ACES.
AS. There's too many words. Oh my gosh, I can't open it. Where's it gone? Oh, it's disappeared, that's why. See if I can find it. I have too many songs. I like music.
Well, you're going to have loads on there because you love all kinds of music.
I do. I like
diverse as well.
I have such random songs.
Me too.
Come on, where is it? I just... It's called 3 Hearts.
Can I see the name of the band? Aces. I don't know how to pronounce that. I think it looks like it's a Greek word.
Possibly. It's not my favourite song, but I just listened to the lyrics.
And then you've heard the lyrics and thought, octopi, they are amazing.
Yeah.
And then octopuses, octopus. Nah.
I can actually... It depends on if you think the word is
Greek or Latin
or English.
Correct. Goodness, I didn't know many people knew that. So then you thought, I'm going to do that. So you've taken 3 sciences because you want to study what?
I want to study cephalopods.
Cephalopods are the way forward for you.
Yeah, probably. I think I've always had an interest in science regardless. I was the child who would always ask questions.
Yes.
To the point that annoyed teachers occasionally. I once did in a GCSE, I think I was in year 9. No, I was in year 8. I asked a question to the teacher, got so irritated. He got the A-level textbook, shoved it in front of me and said, just read this and be quiet.
And did you?
Yes, of course I did.
Of course you did, because you've been told to, and you're fascinated by it.
I was so confused how potassium in water blows up, yet how when you eat bananas, we're 70% water. How come we don't blow up when we eat bananas?
Well, this is true, and what's the answer?
Because potassium is an ion, so it's stable in its shell, so it can no longer react.
Okay, fabulous. So no blowing up when we eat bananas. That's good.
When we eat bananas.
So cephalopods, how do you get to working with cephalopods or working in the world of cephalopods? What will your degree be?
So it depends on
where you go.
Where I go. Mm-hmm. So I'm currently looking at either a biology degree or a marine biology degree.
Mm-hmm. But and where will you do each if you go?
So marine biology would be at Southampton.
Yep.
Because they've got an amazing. They've got one of an incredible. They got their own research vessel, which is really awesome. Yes. And then the other one would be I do biology at Queen's College, Oxford.
Yes. And then beyond both your degree, your undergrad, will you need to do a postgrad? Is there a degree in cephalopodology?
No. So I think the pathway currently I see is doing undergrad and possibly doing a master's in either likely marine biology.
Yeah.
And then I would probably do. I'd love to do a doctorate.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
Have you decided on what yet? I bet you have.
Possibly.
I knew you would have done. God, what's it going to be on? I tell you what, this is good, because if we can mark this day by saying that's what she's doing her doctorate on, in a few years' time, I'll ask if you've done it yet.
It might take more than a few years.
Couple of years. Probably a few more than a few.
10.
Yes, probably 10.
Yeah, so I currently am very interested in. So as well as being interested in cephalopods, I'm also very interested in neuroscience, particularly because of the condition I have, functional neurological disorder. It's all
which we call FND,
which is just easy to say.
Can you explain a bit about FND for us?
Okay, I can do that, and then I'll go back to the other thought.
Okay, great. Or do you want to do the other thought first and then go back to FND?
FND might be a long conversation.
So go into the next one that you were saying about you have.
Well, yeah, so I just got very fascinated in brain science. And so, octopi have the largest, I believe they have the largest amount of neurons per their size, compared to their size, they have a very large amount. And the way theirs are structured around their body is very fascinating. They have a central brain in the mantle, and then at the base of each of their tentacles, they have clusters of nerve cells, which make up 2/3 of the nerve cells in the whole body. And they are incredibly intelligent creatures. So I'm very interested at how the distribution and how effectively they're using their neurons compared to us.
Yes.
And whether there is anything we can learn from how
the way
their
neurons pathways. Yes.
Yeah, because of the way they sense things. So they have very good so chamber nautilii, which is a predecessor of the octopi, have incredible chemoreceptors. So they can, with their little tentacles, test the sand to search if there's predator or prey nearby.
Okay.
And it's just very fascinating how they process all that information, and that could help with people with processing disorders. It might help kind of give any rise or insight into how that works.
And therefore could relate to FND quite firmly.
Yeah.
How amazing is that? Do you think that's why you have an extra fascination for these creatures? Because there's a possible relation to your own situation and where you could help people like you in future?
Yeah, I think they're also just a bit weird. They're a bit odd.
And
they're
you know what, Freya?
Creepy.
We like weird.
I love weird.
Me too.
Weird.
Look at my shoes. So going back to FND,
Yes.
Can you explain a little bit about FND if you don't mind?
Yes. So FND is a condition that encompasses a lot of different symptoms. So some people have paralysis, some people have seizures, some people have tics. There's lots of different things. So for me, I have a mixture of quite a lot. So the most common one people will associate with me is I have non-epileptic seizures. I also can have dissociative seizures. Sometimes I have muscle weakness. I can go mute. I of course have tics. That one's less fun. None of them are fun. Essentially, it is a disorder that usually starts with the chronic pain. So for me, I've had chronic pain in my stomach since the age of about 8 or 7. And it's essentially you have rewired your brain to deal with something because you didn't learn how to process it correctly. So for me, I didn't know how to process loud noises. I often fell asleep. So there's pictures of me outside Disneyland falling asleep, in a New York Yankees game falling asleep, Ollie Murs concert, fell asleep during an Ollie Murs concert.
Not during Ollie Murs?
Not during.
How could you? He's a wonderful performer. You had no control. So even a loud Ollie Murs concert. So your reaction would be very different to your average person being...
Get excited.
Get excited. And
I shut down because I was like, this is dangerous. Essentially, my
your
response
body
to danger was, and so I fell asleep, and that developed over time into seizures, and not much is known about it. The good thing about it is that it can be undone. You can train to rewire your brain, which is how I'm here speaking now and talking and doing concerts and things.
Yeah.
So again, it's another one that I've had loads of theories on how it works. So I think it's another processing disorder.
There aren't many FND experts in the world, are there?
No, it's because it's a neurological disorder. It falls between the gaps a lot, but it is one of the most common in terms of neurological disorders. It's very common in highly conscientious people who are born female. That sort of way it's grown up. And I have a lot of theories because in biology we learn about something called epigenetics, which is basically how your environment relates to how your DNA expresses. And I think there is something about how I grew up and how things were certainly missed in terms of my processing disorders that have led to this condition. And it's also fascinating to me that it's the right side of my body that shakes, never the left side when I have a seizure.
Are you right-handed?
I am.
Okay.
But I think...
Do you think it's to do with that?
Left side of the brain controls the right side of your body.
Yes, of course, yeah.
And a lot of it is to do with processing, which is where I have my most struggles. It's not creativity, it's more logical thinking and processing information, which is where my dyslexia and other conditions I have struggle. So because I've talked to other people someone who also had struggles with that and also has symptoms on the right side of the body. So that's been quite interesting to me to figure out.
I think it's wonderful that you're so involved in knowing so much about it, but then that's the way you work. You love to know all the facts about all things, don't you? And I wonder if one day, especially with your work with cephalopods in future, that whether you will become another FND specialist.
Possibly.
How wonderful, because I think there's only 2. I think we need a 3rd. So talk to me about obviously you have a place at Queen's, Oxford, if you choose to go there, if everything goes the way you want it to. If you get the grades, that's what we say to everyone. But if you choose to go to Queen's, how much help have you been given to get you to the place where you've been given your place there?
Oh my goodness, I have had quite a bit. So Mr. Gisby has been a lifesaver.
Good.
Because I was very early on realised that I want to get this done as stress-free as possible. So I did...
When you say get this done, you mean your applications and all of those things?
Yeah. And so very early on, Mr. Gisby and I would have meetings every week or every other week. And we would go through personal statement, we would go through how to choose universities and how to structure everything. And it was really fascinating because the information he was telling me was a lot about, they want to know what you know and how you enjoy it. And they don't care as much, especially in the interview for Oxford, they don't care as much about your knowledge. They care about how teachable you are, how enthusiastic you are. And so a lot of it was kind of just a lot of practice to help me feel comfortable in that space. So they had external people. We had a meeting where they did a mock interview with me that taught me a lot about how I work. When I am nervous, I can be a bit rambly, incoherent, and not look at people, kind of just flap my hands around. But when I am calmer, I can be people have often found I'm quite good at putting my point across. I can be quite coherent, and I guess part of that comes from having to fight for a lot of support. I had to be the one to go, I need a dyslexia test. I had to be the one to go, I think I need glasses. From a young age, I was probably like, had to learn how to communicate.
And so Mr. Gisby practicing all of those communication skills with you on a regular basis for quite some time was hugely helpful.
Really, really helpful. It just made me comfortable with questions, and when you get there and they stump you with things you've never heard of, it kind of let me go, okay. And then the science teachers, biology teachers also did some mock interviews with me.
Yes.
And they helped reassure me that the knowledge I know is correct.
Good.
And because that would be embarrassing if it was just came in starting completely
and total nonsense came out. Yeah, that's not a good thing. But you clearly know an awful lot of that, because I think knowing you as I do, you're a wider reader. So we know that if you're told to go and do X, Y, and Z, normally you'll do X, Y, Z, and then you'll add on an A, B, C as well. You know, you go back and round and...
I just get distracted. I go down...
Distracted because you love to learn.
I go down rabbit holes. I have spent hours just going, how do proteins work? Where does melanin? What is melanin? Why is it in our skin and also in squid ink? How does this work?
And you're fascinated by it.
Yeah.
And that's great.
Yeah, I sort of derailed.
Then you get derailed, but in a good way, because that's all, in the end, that's all part of your learning process, isn't it?
Yeah.
So tell me, why did you add in that fourth A-level, that very special music A-level that got thrown in? For someone who started 4 years ago needing half days, shortened days to leave lessons, yada, 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 you've suddenly gone, oh, let's not just take the usual 3 A-levels, let's add in a fourth, and one that requires a lot of practical work as well.
Yeah, so the very beginning reason is I was in year 6, and my dad told me, when you do your A-levels, do 3 to help you in your career and do 1 for fun. And that was what I was always told. And obviously I still had the choice, and I got to choosing, and I think I realized that music was such a big part of my life. It was something that was a constant for me. When I couldn't go into school and do other things, I could still play the piano, and that was the one thing that sort of kept me sane. And I love it. The way I see the world is through music and colours. So I often hear pieces of music, and when I hear pieces of music, I see colours for them. And so I decided I loved it, and the music staff are lovely. And it's a class of me and Louisa and Mrs. Hawkins, and we sit there and we just listen to great music, we drink tea, and we just have a great discussion.
Yeah.
And it's hard. There are bits that are challenging, because a lot of it is you are given, they essentially play a piece of music, and they say, in this piece, this character is angry, show how the music explains that. I find that very hard, because I don't see the world that way. I process emotions quite differently. But it's allowed me to learn. It's given me a safe space to learn. And I think everyone in the music department knows me so well that I've just had support with it. And it's also forced me to take breaks.
Yeah, because music we know, obviously you're studying academic music. A-level music is an incredibly academic course, but within that, there's the performance aspect. So you have to also give yourself that time and space to practice the piano and singing. And that actually takes your brain away from the academic rigor in a way. It just uses a different part of your brain, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So even if you're exhausted from academia, you can always sit and play the piano or sing.
Yeah,
so you say you process emotions differently.
Yes.
How are you able to express so brilliantly when you sing and play the piano?
So it's often because I've played or heard the piece a lot. So I know what the piece looks like to me. I see the colours, I see the composition, and I also know that when I'm performing it, I'm holding the brush. So I can tweak the bits that basically I think about what I want to see, what makes me the happiest when I'm looking at this piece of music, and how it fits together for me. And I just have that instinctual knowledge. It's like processing feels very logical to me, and that's where I find it hard. My body seems to have a natural inclination as into this sort of thing. It's a bit like why some actors, because I know there are a lot of actors have been found to be on the autistic spectrum, and I think it's because we spend a lot of time watching people to understand and decode. It's like a little puzzle. And so for me, I use the colours, I use the knowledge that I have from previous performances and a lot of your direction, and I play with it. I have a lot of fun with it. Yeah,
and it helps, I think, switch off from the academic rigour and then refreshes you, ready for the next bit of academic rigour. That's what I think is so important. You found such a good balance with it. So I'm thinking about all of the pastoral support that you've had here at Seaford.
Yes.
And I know you've already mentioned Mrs. Stitt, and you've mentioned Mr. Gisby, obviously the house teams that you've got. How important have those pastoral carers been to you?
I would not have gotten through this school if it wasn't for any pastoral team. I think Mrs. Stitt has been vital because she has been fighting for me at every step. She's been so good at making sure I have the right support, and if something is wrong, I know I can go to her and it'll be fixed. But then there's the number 46 now, isn't it? That is a place where if you need to sit and be calmer. I would also say Father Collins as well, because I love his dog as well. But he's so kind.
Has a gorgeous dog.
He's had I've had conversations with him right at the beginning. 10 year 11 came in, and he was really lovely and let me use his space when I needed to get away from things. And then there's boarding, because Lynn is in boarding, and also Lindsay on a Friday. They have been so helpful. They seem to really understand my needs, which is great, because a thing I find very hard is every time I meet someone new, I have to go through a long list of, if I have this, it's fine, just give me, 2 minutes.
Yes.
If I'm still not out after 5, you
call the ambulance.
You legally have to. I can't tell you not to.
But you know what I think's wonderful, and I believe this, someone older and not so wise, but sometimes wise, is one of the joyful things about Seaford from being a teacher here, is that pastoral care is so woven into the fabric of everything we do.
Yes.
So you mentioned certain people, and they are gorgeous and wonderful people. That pastoral care bounces around from academic to the lunch hall, to the supper time, to the evening duties in the music block. If you come down and practice, every single person here cares about you.
They care. That's it. It's all about all the staff care, and they are kind about it. Because it's always scary when, especially walking around school with headphones on and sometimes a disability lanyard. I am not. Often when I'm doing that, I am not prepared. I'm not able to explain myself.
I think that's...
the amount of times I've unfortunately had issues on the chicken walk. I've had fits there if I haven't been able to get to a safe place in time. How willing and ready people are to drop everything and help is incredible. I went out. I had a fit. I was at a train station on my own. Had a fit, came to, and there was a family 10 meters away, just about 10 of them staring at me. not doing anything, not checking on me. And yet here at school, even though people are aware, they are still so ready to make sure I'm okay. It's really comforting. It's safe. It's a safe school to be in for people. And I think that's really important.
Good. Talk to me about your performing arts, because you have become now, I'm going to call you a joint study pianist and singer, because you've been studying singing as well for the last couple of years. I know you did it when you were younger, you stopped for a while. You are pivotal in our chapel choir and you're deputy head chorister. You have been in the Adams family you're studying for your grade 8 singing, having just done your grade 8 piano. How is that journey towards the excellence of music occurred so beautifully in these last couple of years? And you're also, if you go to Oxford, you're a choral scholar. You have a choral award from Queen's.
Yes, that did happen.
That did happen, which is so amazing and wonderful, and no less than you deserve, Freya. So talk to me about that journey with your instruments being at such a high level.
Well, I came to Seaford year 10. Yeah, year 10. I was a grade. I think I was grade 6, grade 7 piano. I was doing my GCSE music, and I got through that. I was just getting comfortable playing. I didn't like performing in front of people.
No,
I wouldn't do
not
it.
at all. But do you remember there was a speech day a couple of years ago, either at the end of your GCSE year or year 10?
Yes, I would.
Do you know what I'm going to say? We've never spoken about this.
It was year 10.
It was year 10.
It was year 10.
And you weren't sure that you were able to go into speech day, I remember, and Mrs. Stitt was helping you, and you were outside, and I said, oh, come and play the big piano we happened upon each other there, and I thought, I can tell she needs a piano. That's what we all need when times are hard. And you went into the Johnson Centre, and I remember you saying you were working towards your exam, or you'd been studying some pieces.
It would be grade 7. That would have been grade 7 then.
Can you play to me? Can you play? And you just, I remember, looked like you didn't want to play, but you did. And I remember thinking that was the first time you'd played to me publicly, if you like, without me sneaking past a practice room listening to enjoy.
I didn't know that.
Oh yes, of course. And I just remember you sort of looking at me and me saying, keep up, it's wonderful, your playing is glorious and you're doing so well. And I just saw, and then you got into the room to get your prizes, you were being given some prizes. And then from there, I remember feeling as though that day was somehow a little bit of a pivot, because there were people in the room setting up for the teas and coffees after the event, and I was there, and we hadn't really had any interactions. I didn't teach or whatever, but from there, I don't know, that was the end of year 10, beginning of year 11, and it was you were beginning to trust the Seaford way, I think. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, I think I'd had some experiences at school that made me wary of being in an environment like this, and I think that was the point where I started to feel like I could trust the school, trust the staff. Trust the staff,
and let Seaford bring sprinkle a bit of Seaford dust, magic dust on you, and with all your talents and all your skills, just allow us to go, try this, try that. Try the other, and now you play at almost every and or sing, and sometimes both, at almost every single concert that we do now, having never done anything like that for a long time. Lunchtime concerts, you're a music scholar, so you do music scholar concerts, you, as I say, chapel choir, you lead the tenor section. Talk to me about being a female low alto / female tenor, because that's an interesting place to be, isn't it, vocally?
Yeah, so vocally when I was very little, I sang descant. Primary school, I was descant, and now I'm suddenly very low contralto, I guess is how I would classify it. And I love it. I really enjoy my voice. I find it really interesting. And I remember I joined the tenors in year 12, because that's when I first had singing lessons. I think I decided, because my original goal was I was going to wait until the very last year to show people that I had a singing voice.
Yeah.
Because I thought that's amusing. But then I don't know what happened. I think year 12 I decided, you know what? I want to do singing lessons. I want to enjoy it. And I remember the very first singing lesson I went to, you're going to chamber choir. I'm like, what? You're like, you won't know. You're in chamber choir. You're in chapel choir.
Go on. Yes.
And
you were like,
okay.
Really?
So I gave it a go. I tried one day in alto. I was like, that's too high.
Yes.
So
I can't remember what we were singing, but it was something with quite a high top, an upper alto line. And I remember you saying, well, can I switch? And I'm afraid for a music, a choir director and a music teacher, to have someone with your musical skills saying, I'm much better singing tenor. I was like, fantastic, because that means there is strength in the tenor section.
Yeah.
And you've never looked back, have you?
I
love
mean,
it.
I joined, and I remember the younger boys were a bit wary. They were a bit like, why this is boys? Why is suddenly you here? And I remember it was Noah he went, you know what? You're cool. And so he was, by him talking to me, being kind to me, he kind of showed the younger kids that apparently you're fine.
And a fine leader of that department, you are.
Yeah,
well
and
done.
I've actually made some good friends in that group now.
The chapel choir and chamber choir,
absolutely. Yeah.
Some of your best friends there, really, I think, because like you, lots of them are highly skilled musicians with lots and lots of talents who are wonderfully themselves.
Yes.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah, it's such a great community to be in, the choirs, because it pushes you in a way that is safe because everyone else is doing it. And if you make a mistake, you can laugh at it.
Yeah, or the rest of your team laugh at you. That's where it usually happens.
I do. I feel so bad because it was year 12. We were doing Little Drummer Boy, and there was a really high tenor line, and Sammy had a little voice crack in it in the middle of the performances during the day, and I couldn't stop laughing.
Giggling.
I felt awful because I was laughing really well.
But did he mind, and did he laugh with you?
No, he laughed with me.
He laughed. There we go.
Laughed with
That's
me,
exactly
and
it.
I gave him permission to laugh at me if I did it. Didn't, but I've done it. I've voice cracked.
There's other moments out there, and there will be. It's like we all know that these things happen. It's like when we make mistakes in a public performance, isn't it? We keep going and we put on our game face and we smile and wave at the end and we have our bow and we take our moment. But afterwards we kind of go, oh no, that happened. I didn't hit the high note, or that note wasn't focused, or I sang flat, or whatever. But it doesn't matter, does it? It's just all part of being a live musician. So talk to me about the Addams family. Grandma. She was mad, wasn't she?
She was insane.
She was a loon.
Oh, I went into that fully intending to be a little ghosty ancestor, float around. I was like, you know what? I'll audition just for
I remember talking to you again, and you saying, "Oh, I'm not sure to what it. I might." And I was like, "Just do the audition and see how you go." In the back of my head, going, "She's going to smash that audition if she does well." And there it was. That audition was fantastic and funny. The dialogue was really funny. You understood the nuances of it from the outset. So how was that being in? I'm going to say that's quite a loud, lively environment. A show, working at a production, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. I mean. It was very fun. It's a great musical. It's hilarious and ridiculous. The people were lovely. All the people doing it were great fun. It did get a bit much occasionally. It did get very loud, and I found parts of it challenging, but I was always able to step off.
That's exactly what I was about to say. You managed to just let people know that you were stepping away and needed time out, and time out was taken, and then you were back when you were ready to.
Yeah, I did it carefully because theatre was a big love of mine when I was little. I did loads of it. In year 6, I was Mary Poppins.
Yes.
Which was my crowning achievement.
Definitely still a soprano in those days then.
Oh my gosh, so much. It's crazy how low my voice is now.
And then of course it just, you were unable to do many of those things for so many years.
Yeah, you forget how much you enjoy things. So I remember when I was little, I hated running. It was so boring. I could do it, didn't want to. I would have given anything 4 or 5 years ago to be able to run again. And still now I'm not fully able to do it properly. I would give absolutely anything to go back and be able to do it. You don't realise
do you?
how, just how fun these things
Certain
are.
things
or just
are.
How interesting. Like if you actually take a step and look back at your life and look at all the weird things that have happened, it is interesting.
They happen for a reason.
They
right?
happen, well, some things. I don't think tragedy strikes a lot in life, and that one is hard to combat. But then, you listen to the birds.
Yes.
You remember they exist.
And
you look at the sky and realise that even though it's raining now, you can see how pretty it is and know it will be sunny another
Blue
day.
skies tomorrow. Yeah.
Possibly.
And also, when you go back to something like as huge and as busy as productions and theatre, and you just said you'd forgotten how much you used to love that when you were little.
Yeah.
And isn't it a joy that you've been able to find that again, to reignite that excitement in you for things? So I'm just going to suggest here, because it's live on camera, you'll probably be doing some of that when you get to uni, right?
I intend. I do.
I'm going to buy tickets and come and see it.
Good.
Yes, I am. I can't wait.
Unless I don't tell you.
So tell me, what else do you do other than performing arts? What else do you think is your is the things that you enjoy that make you tick? You've been involved in some of the co-curricular activities, have you, here? STEM club, maybe?
I did. Oh, that was great fun. I've had to stop it because choir is now in the way.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Have I ruined your?
No, it's fine.
Sorry to the science department.
Sorry, Mr. Hall.
Sorry, not sorry, because I've got a wonderful singer.
Oh, it was so much fun. I went in not knowing what it was. I was the only person there, and it was Mr. Hawley, and I decided to do an experiment on squids. I got to talk about. I was looking at how their ink, what kind of the components of it and how it works and what the point of it is, and I was doing different experiments.
What is the point of squid ink?
So it mainly is.
Is it like porcupine quills? Is it
sort of? It's to
predators?
Yeah, to get away. And sometimes, so Humboldt squid, I hate them. They are my least favourite. I don't like eating any cephalopods, but those ones I don't mind if people eat them. I don't like them.
I don't even know what they look like. Are they different to others?
No, they're long ones. They're very long. They're in the midnight zone.
What's wrong with them? Why don't you like them?
They're really cannibalistic.
Oh, they eat each other.
Well, all cephalopods tend to, but these ones
are really bad.
Yeah, so they will often, if they have a prey, which is often another Humboldt squid, they will squirt up loads of ink and go hiding it away so that they can eat it in peace.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that I found really fascinating, is that a very small percentage of squid ink contains dopamine.
Ah, okay. So, wow.
Which is just hilarious to think that they're like, be happy to the predators.
Exactly.
Be happy.
Happy juice. I love that. Be happy, don't eat me, smile.
Yeah.
How amazing is that?
Yeah.
So is that extracted? Is that anything to do with the way dopamine is produced for people?
I don't know. I didn't get that far into looking into it.
Well, there's something for future lab work.
Yeah.
So I think we're coming to a conclusion now. I'm just going to ask you for a few general thoughts on why you love Seaford College. Give me a few thoughts about, could be any of these things. Is it the environment? Is it the size of the pianos? Is it the people? Could be any of those.
I love Seaford College because it is willing to learn and adapt and help people who don't think they can be helped. It's a school where you can come and truly find your passions, because it has a little bit of everything that you can try, and you're encouraged to try, so you can become an incredible cricketer or an incredible opera singer, Louisa. Just you can find yourself and in a safe environment, and that's all that schools can really should be doing. They're preparing you for university, but not everyone goes to university.
Nope.
they're helping you find yourself in a safe environment is what it does, and it lets people do that.
I think that's really true. I often talk to people when they come and visit here and say, we never expect anyone to be a square peg in a round hole. No. And that analogy continues to make me, talk to people about, we often are balloon shaped instead of round shaped. So therefore that's the wrong way around, isn't it? If we're a square peg in a round hole, or maybe a round hole in a square, no, that doesn't make a sense. But anyway, you know what I mean. I think people are different. We're all different. We're all wonderfully human. And one person's joy is another person's sadness.
Yeah, the idea
like
of having
me in
to sit and
sciences.
the idea of me having to do essays sounds awful. But Louisa's like,
she loves it.
She loves it. And if she was doing these science papers, she would hate it.
But someone else, if we ask them to do composition, like you do composition for A-level, which you're also incredibly good at, you love composition. And other people would go, oh, I just can't bear the idea of that. Or standing up and delivering, some of Vivaldi's Gloria or whatever you're doing. Freya, it's been an absolute joy and a delight. Thank you so very much. We can't wait to see what the future holds for you.